Good evening, my children. And might I say, what an evening it is. The birds are sleeping in their wooden beds, and the grass is as quiet as the fields in which it lies. But more importantly, tonight, this time exactly, 34 minutes past 7 in 1979, saw the first ever live screening of Zambezi News. Known at the time, due to board member differences and petty particularist technicalities, as Zenza 2 News.
Yes, tonight we look back at the minimal trials and tribulations, the bounding successes, the sidestep shortfalls, and a quarter of a century's worth of diamond-studded newsreadermanship.
We take a look at the history of Zambezi News.
It all began on a wintry evening before the dawn broke on our new nation, like an egg. Whilst battles were taking place on the field where battles take place, young builders were too fighting for their own future. Only they were using bricks made of shaved facts, concrete made of the thunderous love juices of the gods, and tiles made of investigative journalism.
And shovels made of good metal, and doors made of wood, and windows to keep the wind out, but also so they could see things outside through the glass. Yeah?
Good evening and welcome to Zenza 2 News. I'm Stanley Weathers.
I am Murape Mandape, and that's Jeff.
I'm Jeff.
In a shocking report today, we cross over to Winston's systematics with the weather.
Thank you, Stanley. Today we're going to experience some mild sunshine with dappled shade. We are also going to be experiencing some areas in the community with dust clouds. In the northern part of the area, we are going to also experience some rainfall. I thank you.
What a way to break into the industry, hey? The good old days, field reporting at its best. Mandape, you remember watching that first ever broadcast, don't you?
Indeed, how could I forget?
Because actually our documentary team has traced you back to that eventful day too.
Jerome, I was there, but I can't seem to see myself in this shot. But I do remember it.
No, we're told that's you highlighted in the picture.
Oh, Kumbaishe, my little cousin. She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Very handsome indeed.
Speaking of field reporting, reminds me of when I covered the Chicago mob killings in '54.
Oi, that's not me.
It's your cotton-picking kith and kin.
It looks more like you, mate.
I'll let you know, Kudzaishem Pedzanamo, that we were never a colony. You may have heard of the independent autonomous village of Gurudunu in the 1800s. We fought off the marauding Italians. We welcomed the whites with open arms and daggers behind our backs, and then opened fire with our other arms on the Malawians. So you see, we were never a colony, and therefore could never be a colony again. But we are more than capable of setting up a colony of our own. That I will tell you for free.
Now, boys, let's take it down a notch, okay? This bickering is not helping anyone. Mandape, stop being such a bully.
I can't help it. Even if I could help it, I wouldn't help it. Or him. I mean, look at his nutlog face. His slender, built-on arms. His eyes, like your getters, plunged in the back of his mellowy core of a brain.
Mandape, are you using the sweet bowl behind Kudzaishe's head to create some kind of wildly sweet metaphor?
With teeth, like banana-flavored dandy bubblegum.
Okay, we get it. You've got something against Kudzaishe, but you've got to let it out, okay? You have to talk about it. Which brings us to our next segment, Family Our Faces, our brand new family-friendly chat show with your favorite host, Clint Sharp.
Thank you. What it is to be loved so unconditionally. You are all the reason I do this. I'm just a man. Just a man, I hear you say. It was Gandhi, not a man. Or Jesus, or even Hulk Hogan, Jake the Snake Roberts, or Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They too were just men. Today, I'd like to talk to you, my sisters and brothers, about abuse. Wait, let's give him a chance, shall we? As I was saying, today we have a lethal cocktail of abuse on stage. Just look at this. If you looked up loser in the dictionary, his image would pop up like a picture card cutout. I'd like to introduce you to Belinda Moyo.
Yeah, that's right. Because I want to remain anomalous.
I think the word you're looking for is anonymous, you fool. You see, this dustbin of a man can't even remember his name. He probably doesn't even know where he is.
That's because you put a bag over my head in the bar and threw me into a van. You bloody lizard goat.
What do we say to that, audience? What's the relevance? That's right. What's the frickin' relevance? So tell me, how long have you been an abuser of the godless liquid?
I am in fact a user of the liquid. I have never once abused alcohol. I love her. Look at her. Look. I have seen God many times because of her. More than one God. I once saw a God that was a hyena beast with a blue coat and silver fangs and a walking stick that was red and white like candy, pushing a trolley at the shops.
Pathetic! Look at you, you sorry skeleton with skin. The first step to sobriety is acceptance, you moron. You make me sick. I want to be sick all over your face and your legs. You hear me? Sick. Now, if you may not admit to abusing alcohol, but we've got a guest in studio who has something to say to you about abuse. Oh, yes, we do. And he's had enough. Audience, are you ready to welcome our second guest? All right, then. Come on out here. Glenn Fiddich.
What the fashion are you doing here?
I would like to announce that I no longer want to be part of this abusive relationship.
It's all right, son. You can tell us. You're pregnant, aren't you?
What? What is the meaning of this?
No, I'm not pregnant. I just wanted to...
You're his father. Damn this world.
Like in Darth Vader in Starship Troopers.
No. I just wanted to say that
You still love him. Despite everything, the abuse, the public urinations, all the beatings, you just can't see him fend for himself in this crazy place we call planet Earth.
No, I just want to say...
Well, if you won't say it, then I will. We'll let science do the talking. We did a paternity test to find out if you are in fact the father of Glenn Fiddich's unborn child, you scumbag. We found out the truth. It turns out you're not. You got off this time, you slimy bastard. Well, audience, until next time, when we ask the question, is your daughter's sister your daughter, or is she really just a lying, drug-abusing single mother of 8 who banged on the wrong door and didn't expect her dog to die in the process?
What the bloody hell just happened?
I'm not sure. Clint did seem a lot more relaxed in a one-on-one. Right, well, makeup done? Let's get back to the special.
It's like sitting in a bloody sauna in here. I mean, this powder won't cut it.
Well, actually, it's like sitting next to a fire. But hey, you're on in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Welcome back. Now we've looked at the joyous birth of the station and where the roots of this baobab tree of news burrowed into the soil. Now we want to take a look at some of the other highlights of an unarguably spotless tenure as the lords of the newsroom.
We fast forward to 1997, the year of the palm tree in Thai culture. We all remember the bravery displayed by the entire cast, myself included, in shutting down one of the biggest threats to our nation's security.
Hi guys. There you go. That's for you.
Thanks.
What in the name of love and Angola is this?
Oh, it's a new TV station that's going on air in about 2 days. We'll have everything from cutting-edge international news to series from the US and the UK. Be sure to stay tuned.
What's the meaning of all this, Gerald?
I don't know, Mandapi, but I think I know someone who can help us. Hello, is that the Silver Unicorn?
The Silver's uniforms?
Hi, we've got a little problem, if you know what I mean. We're gonna have to loosen our ties and get dirty, or pull up our socks.
I suggest you get some garters, sir. They come in a range of sizes. Really tightens things up. I've got to go. I've got another customer.
Going to air in T-minus 2 minutes.
Oh, come on, guys. Let me out of here. This place has got more motion sensors than a woman's.
Recliner. I got it in Joburg.
What a bugger.
Don't push! All right.
T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 10 seconds.
Wow, look at those two strapping heroes.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?
Well, I'm the one that pressed the button.
You were, but you were also the one who hung around at the scene for too long. I mean, you damn near blew our cover. Luckily, the cops are only planning on commencing their investigation next August. How did you get out anyway?
Yes, why did you get out anyway?
The blast blew me against the eastern wall of the block, right? And I knew there was only one. Ow!
What a boring speaker this guy is.
After the hitch of Joygate, Zambezi News sailed into a smooth sea of patriotic events, convenient stories. Let's take a look now at one of our most popular programs that we'll be rebroadcasting later this year.
So today, the dish you have to come up with is meeting the promises in your election manifesto. Right to wonder. On the one hand, you have an angry population. On the other, you have an ostentatious 10-car motorcade. What are you going to do, Tawanda? What are you going to do?
Do I have the backing of a faction in the army?
Not for this one, Tawanda, but for your dessert dish.
Choosing between the two ingredients, obviously I will go for the motorcade. It's much sweeter and easier to run with. Citizens can be sour if you rub them the wrong way.
What have you done, Tawanda? You've burnt your dish.
That's my strategy.
Interesting strategy. I see that you've burnt the citizens on the outside, leaving charred remnants of your electorate, but have managed to still maintain a very appetizing layer of privilege in the center. You've also managed to burn some of the ingredients on the outside. Now, how did you do that?
Well, I used the motorcade to crush the dissenting population, thus using one ingredient to neutralize the taste of the other. Of course, they had to be tenderized first, so I deployed a militia with batons, and after a few seconds, they succumbed to a gooey paste.
Smashing combination. Reminds me of a traditional dish we have back in Australia called floating boats, where you have boats of spicy Asian refugees floating in a soup of nothingness, but that's for another day.
Tawanda was really sweating over his dish, but the way he tenderized that population, it was a masterstroke. I'm definitely taking that back to my constituency.
So today, we have a special guest in the MasterChef kitchen. He's the most renowned politician in his field. He has managed to stay in office for over 30 years without ever seeing a project to completion, but still lives a life of absolute decadent luxury. I'm talking about none other than the Minister of Impending Projects.
How are you, my good fellows? When George introduced the minister, I knew it would be a game changer. The minister is an inspiration I've been looking up to for years. He's a great man that's good at doing nothing so well.
You see, I have developed a technique over the years that has seen me successfully never finish a dish. You see, I have mastered the half-baked, the underdone, and the lack of delivery. If you listen to me today, you can hear tender election promises that are never well done. In the words of my constituency, it leaves a bitter taste in your mouths.
The new millennium also brought with it generous helpings of unadulterated nationalism and oodles of land for the deserving few. It also ushered in a new era of news reporting, coined by the one and only Cephas Josephat as the stopgap shift.
Cephas was a pioneering practitioner of the stopgap shift technique, who maintains a unique ability to lull the viewers into a false sense of comfort through lazily lingering sentences that rise and fall as melodically as my wife's breasts.
Scientists claim and clamor in agreement like a bunch of human rights lawyers trying to highlight abuses on the populace that Cephas has a unique trichaetic chord within his voice box that allows him to perfect the stopgap shift like few others can. So we invited in a specialist to break down the inner workings of Cephas's thoracic particulars in layman's terms. So, tell us more about this fascinating freak of nature.
Well, what's going on here? How can I shoot? Hey, Jack, this is the throat. Now just beneath the throat. That's with what? That's where the carburetor should be. Between the filter and the batteries. Now what's happened here? There's been a cross-wiring, a fusion. And what's happened? There's been an acid leak. Now this acid leak is taken all the way up from the engine, through the bell housing, into the gearbox, up into the grab compartment. Looking at about maybe $250. Okay? Ferran just started again, let's hear. Yeah, 250.
Well, all of those big words must hold some truth. You can't argue with that. Now that we have the scientific background on why Mr. Josephat has fought off potential dethronees, let's take a look at one of his hallmark interviews. This one is on the sighting of a rogue Peugeot 405 in Seke, 2003.
On a day like any other day, in a town like many other towns, a vehicle unlike any other vehicle seems to have reared its ugly head. The Peugeot 405, more commonly known as the Blue Whale, was reportedly spotted doing the rounds on regular transport routes. The car that was banned in 2001 due to its emblematic representation of good ties with our sovereign nation and the lesser-known country, Paris, France. The Blue Whale was presumed extinct by the early noughties, as experts call it, but apparently one or two have found a way to survive by feeding off poor strangers with only 3 runs for transport. I have with me a young vagabond who is bedeviled by the experience he had a mere 2 hours ago. Tell me, young boy, what happened?
Well, I was waiting by the side of the road when I saw it swim around the corner, and its headlights, they were hanging from their sockets, and it was leaning to one side. Oh. Then it stopped, and it said, "Hey baby, face your spin. I am cheaper than normal compass."
So you are confirming the fears of Zambezi News that the 405 has indeed evolved into a communicating being.
I can't confirm whether it was the driver or the car, but it definitely came from within the vehicle. I only had 3 rounds on me. There was no windy, so I had to jump into the booth myself.
Yourself?
Yes! When I got into the booth, it was packed with other poor people. It was extremely hard to breathe as the windows didn't work. And as the car started moving, the booth flung open and I jumped out. It was my only chance to escape.
And what of your fellow travelers?
I haven't seen them the whole morning.
Well, there you have it, straight from his mouth. The perils that come along with the blue whale may be upon us again. Until we can be sure of its elimination, what more can we expect? This is Kefas Josphats reporting from Seke, where sightings of a talking blue whale have the villagers in a twitter. And 18 people are presumed dead in a community that is in the prenatal stages of mourning this morning. Back to you in the studio. Watch the suit, watch the suit, watch the suit, the suit, the suit. It's okay, the suit. Takata, don't touch me in the field.
I was sorry, Can
you not see what I'm doing?
The cow.
No, this is a Pinot Gardini, eh? Young man.
Something that Zambezi News has always struggled with, or rather, avoided struggling with, is its gender parity. There have been attempts made by outstanding female journalists and reporters that have been mysteriously thwarted. Let's now take a look at some behind-the-scenes footage that I found in Studio B.
No, not Studio B.
What we see right here is the reckless demolition of homes and displacement of...
Sorry, my flower, you seem to be breaking up there. Maybe someone broke up with you. Is that why you're so emotional?
The home behind me is minutes away from being... The owners have lived here for the last 8 years, and if...
Wow, powerful stuff. But this is the news, not some trashy entertainment channel. Tell us, why aren't you at home? In the kitchen?
Honestly, this story needs to be told. They're innocent...
Sorry, my love, you seem to be breaking up again.
The story is not told. Way of...
Well, it's been a jolly pleasant evening. The embers are glowing away like a gang of fireflies at a Leonard Cohen concert. And the lads are well on their way after a few short glasses of whiskey. I'm your fireside host with marshmallows to roast. As we look back over the last 25 years, let's remember the little guy, the guys working behind the scenes. Well, the guys working in front of the scenes.